Hello and welcome to This and That. I'm Dave Lees.
And I'm Jonathan Byer, coming from Hong Kong. Hi, how are you?
Hong Kong for the 2019 Rostelecom Cup. So we are on 3 continents and we are going to be discussing Gracie Gold at the Eastern Sectionals. During all of this, we are tri-continental. So, yes, Jonathan.
Yes.
There's a
We're
lot.
so worldly. Yeah.
So worldly. There's a lot to discuss. It's been a busy, exciting weekend. You know, Sectionals is my favorite event of the year. I love it. There's nothing I enjoy more than a Saturday night, late night special to see, is Polina Edmonds going to rotate the jumps enough to make it? And oh my goodness.
I think you know the answer to that.
I don't know what it is. I really do prefer watching Sectionals to Rostelecom. I don't know, like, there's something about it's like more earnest in a way. I would rather watch bad skating of a girl skating to Bette Midler who is trying to land a triple toe than to watch a skater in the second to last group at the Cup of Russia who hasn't put the work in to land a program.
Yeah, but the bookends of it are so much more exciting than that trapped middle part.
Oh my God, you just get everything. I don't know why, but 3 ladies were doing programs to the Rose yesterday on both coasts. It was 2 senior ladies skated to Bette Midler, and then I turned on Pacific Coast to try to search for Paulina and Courtney Hicks, and Bette Midler was around and proud. Like, I loved it. Okay.
She is everywhere. Yeah, she's really making a name for herself at that. 2019 is really her year.
And if anyone can explain why it's the Rose this year of all years, I would like to know that. But not.
It's like a movie resurface or something. Like, why all of a sudden like a resurgence of it?
So I was trying to get Michael Shanley into Sectionals because he just, doesn't get it. He doesn't really get what we're watching.
Okay.
He just knows, like, is Gracie going to jump? Is she going to be, he likes her like he likes an old movie star. Like, he's in for the journey, okay? He's in for, like, one of those Liz Taylor 2020 interviews.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he has a thing for Gracie, because remember, he was there for the jacket incident. So he likes
He's invested.
He likes that Frank dressed her up as Grace Kelly. He thinks Frank is, like, the only person who gets it. He's like, yeah. So... Mm-hmm. We're watching, and this girl goes, and she's skating to Lana Del Rey's Song About America, which is, I think, the school shooting song that came out in fall.
Oh.
And, like, she got a case of the trips when she was doing her footwork. It was one of those where she, like, tripped, and then you knew she was going to fall eventually, and it waited a couple of steps, and then she fell. And he was like, why is she falling? And it was like...
As if it was a choice.
She's not intending to fall. He was a little offended. He also forgot that Jessica Simpson was a singer.
A lot of us did, I think. Yeah.
I didn't know why the skater thought that she needed to do her cover of Angels, but she did. And, but Grace...
She needed to do it with that belt. Do you remember the jean picture with all those belts that Jessica wore that one time? That's what I want someone to wear when they skate to her.
Okay. Can we be, like, a little bit honest about Gracie's short program that Jeremy gave her now that, like, she's doing a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
So the dress is horrifying, but I'm assuming she got it for free. So I'm, like, Look, we've all been there. Anyway, I just don't think that, like, skating to sexy music is, like, a good choice when maybe you're not, like, quite feeling your Sunday best yet in skating. Like, it's a weird projection.
Well, and that's what I would say. She wasn't projecting confidence or sexy. She was projecting focus, like, get your job done. So, yeah, it did seem like sort of a phoned-in exhibition number where she would just point occasionally and then kind of go back to focusing.
So I don't know what it is, but the pointing makes me laugh. And I don't know what. She had, like, these new moves that maybe we haven't, like, seen.
With sign language, he says, the singer says, I put a spell on you, and she's like, you. And I'm like, okay, she's not a talk show host.
It's hysterical because there were people that were writing, they were like, it didn't look like Gracie was in a good mood yesterday. And my take is, I don't know that she wanted to be at sectionals yet. Like, I don't think Gracie wants to be out there until she's her real race. But like
when she feels ready. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not that she doesn't. I mean, I feel like Gracie is kind of, you know, like when you're going in a pool, I'm one of those people that, like, I just jump right in, right? But not everyone likes to do that. Some people like to get on the first step and, like, wait for 5 minutes and then do the second step. And, like, to me, that feels colder. And I'm like, we're either getting in or we're not getting in, right? We're, like, getting in.
Okay, all or nothing. Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Like, when it's a little chilly, I'm not wading into the pool. She seemed to be, like, wading into this comeback. Like, we're going to do a little off ice. I'm going to start jumping. I don't know if I'm going to do my program because I think it gives you more of an out, right? Like, you have more of an escape.
Yeah. Less pressure if she's not totally committed. Yeah.
And, like, to see what she can do. Like, well, maybe I can still jump. And I think it was clear for the first time, maybe even to her, even as much as she uses those arms on the jumps, that if she really puts the work in and gets disciplined and trains, she can do this. And I think that's what needs to kind of click for her, is because at regionals she was not in any form, right? But it looked like she had put in a couple more weeks of work. She maybe put in a little more effort getting through, knows that she has to do better at sectionals than she did at regionals, and she showed up a little bit prepared. She's still on the back of where she needs to be. Yeah. But I kind of feel like if she squeaks into nationals, originally I thought it would be bad for her because if she was based on regionals, but if she makes it to nationals, she's going to know that she's going to have to show up and train.
Do it. Yeah.
And I also think that because there are people sponsoring her, if she doesn't go to nationals, there's always the ring, like, they could give up on you or get pissed. So you got to keep that money coming in too. So she kind of will have to go and have to give it the effort. And I think that can kind of get her over the hump of this. And it started to look like there were signs that, like, maybe it could happen. Like, that triple Lutz double toe was rough, but she did it. And it wasn't...
But it happened, at this point last year, like, I never thought she would be able to do a triple Lutz again.
Yeah. And it's clear that she's, like, conserving energy. So she's going slow, deliberately, but she still has more projection and more, like, experience. Looks like an old Grand Dame coming back on the ice. That you kind of go... And you can tell the judges don't know how to judge her because she's skating slow as hell. But she also is... she knows how to point.
Pointing.
Those other girls
didn't let's talk about it because it was judge number 6 that in her short program was giving her some really low marks for transitions and things like that. Which, if you're judging, honestly, I believed judge number 6. If you're judging on name and not the program in front of you, then you believe judges 1 through 5.
Yeah. And the one that gave her a 4.75 for transitions. I mean...
Because I think it's also their job to say, before you get to nationals, you need to know. Mm-hmm. It's like what Joe Inman was trying to do for Johnny.
Yeah.
In that one nationals. It's like, okay, I can pretend you have transitions, but you really don't. So I'm trying to help you see where you need to fill in.
And skating is a sport that's built on star power. And when we talk about the marks of Evgenia, it's true that the judges are human, and when they see a person improve, and I was rewatching the Lost skating interviews with Sonia Bianchetti that I had posted, and she makes a really good point about how they use the PCS as placeholders because they don't mean anything, right? Like, they're supposed to, but they don't, but the fans think they do, but then they want to give their best high scores, and the meaning becomes convoluted. And someone like Evgenia is getting in the high to mid 9s. You know, she's not really doing 1-foot skating or Carolina Kostner edges or Yuna and Mao quality of running edge, but she is better than
she might be having a moment with the crowd. So again, that performance number can go a little bit higher. But again, I mean, I feel like a broken record. The fact that they all rise up, if the crowd is into it and it's kind of a fun, nostalgic, like heartwarming moment, it doesn't suddenly mean she has more transitions or that her skating skills are suddenly better. Conversely, someone like Satoko, who's struggling, that's the time we do lose the performance because it's really disruptive and things like that. But does that take away from her general skating skills? I don't.
And when a two-time national champion does a triple Lutz and a triple loop at a sectionals and a double axel, but they're skating slow, but you can kind of see the potential, I can see why the judges were as varied as they were. And I could understand each person having a point of view that is different. And that they didn't actually offend me as much as when Mervyn and Olivia did an element, and one judge gave them a +1 and one gave them a -5. So that's a bigger issue. That would be...
Yeah, that's pretty deliberate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, do you think she's going to do it?
I think she's going to do it over someone like Polina.
Yeah. But they're in separate sections. They need to each...
Yeah, no, totally. But
41-2 is the key number for technical that they need to get.
I could see Gracie getting that number. I don't know how Polina can get that number.
Yeah. I wish Gracie would do 2 Lutzes at the beginning of the program. But I don't think that they would ever design it like that. Because you think when she's fresh in the beginning, get those points. The flip is always going to get you fewer. And like, remember when Sasha tried to do the back-to-back Lutzes at the beginning of the Rachmaninoff program with Tarasova? Like, Tarasova was smart.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and there was that period of time in Germany, Abbott was trying his back-to-back triple axels for a while. Because it was just the idea. And stamina seems to be an issue. So why not just optimize your chance for success again? Is that let's not win worlds with this content. Let's get out of sectionals with our content. You know?
I'm more confused by the Polina comeback. Like,
I have to think it must be like a personal thing. Like she just wanted to prove she could get some triples back. Or it seems, given that she had some under rotation issues, even at the height of her ability,
on her best,
day. We saw that. Yeah, we saw that comeback where she really wasn't doing anything beyond the loop that one season when I saw her live in France. She was going quite slow, and then we knew she withdrew because it was kind of like almost a quasi-effort. And I feel like this is just more of the same. So if you're not going to come back and do something different, competitively speaking, I don't know the purpose. Maybe this was a fun way for her to get in shape or get back to skating and reclaim her relationship with it now that she's been away or something. But I don't see her being a factor because between Mariah, Brady, Alyssa, even Amber Glenn, I mean, there's a crop at nationals that can deliver some content that would make it difficult for them.
I mean, I want to see her at nationals, skating to cats in a bodysuit,
and not even like the good numbers, Mr. McCavity. I was like, oh my gosh. Someone on Twitter was like, she's skating to a song called My Cavities. And I was like, no, it's not a dental number, it's a cat's number, which is even more hilarious.
Then we have one viewer who anytime there's a musical theater number, she will just keep messaging. Like, keep pouring. I'm like, oh, there's no way of stopping it. So finally I was like, what do you do for
this? Let it happen.
I'm so curious. Like,
oh my gosh.
You're better at just ignoring people. You just let it go. I'm like...
Yeah, sometimes I just have to like, oof. Yeah.
So, all right. So we have Polina. She did not look pleased after her performance at all. And also, another sectionals mainstay, Sean Rabbit, is in 4th after the short, Jonathan. He missed his Lutz. No, the triple flip, triple toe.
And he was gunning for a Grand Prix, wasn't he? At the beginning of this year.
I think he's had a little bit of a harder time this year. I don't know if he's injured. He's changed his programs a bit. He has he's paid attention a lot to his hands this year. I noticed like he was really stretching well and trying to perform. But I noticed that I don't think that Sean has a sense of his body and what he does. Again, in those lost skating interviews, Brian Boitano says that Sandra was the one who realized that Brian was a tall giraffe with some thighs and butt on him, and she's like, you're trying to compete with the guys that are short and quick, and you're trying to do all those quick steps in the footwork, and that's not you at all. You are tall and statuesque, and you need to really emphasize that.
Grand. You are grand. Yeah.
And I noticed that Sean...
And it's from the core.
Yeah.
Because Sean is very external, like the limbs, like they're on the edges instead of coming from the center somehow.
And he was doing Michael Bublé and trying to be, a little light on his feet, and it was like, that's not you. That's like someone short, like a Jimmy Ma almost, or someone like Keegan Messy.
But I think we see this in skating a lot, where people kind of don't understand where they fit in or what they are. In the same way, like Brian's was trying desperately to be something he's just not, instead of utilizing what he has. And I think we see this in teams and in single skaters all the time. They're trying so desperately to be something instead of just embracing what they are. Or maybe it's because they don't know what they are, or they're kind of afraid to take the plunge, because those are the people that really, in my opinion, surpass everyone else, are the people that are aware of their strengths and play to them.
Now, should Polina be skating to cats? Is that a good choice?
It makes sense to me. I mean, she could be Grisabella because it's like a former, has-been, kind of.
I just loved
memory.
The flat iron ponytail and the bodysuit, and she had like a bitch face for days coming out, and I got really excited. But then when she just nothing happened on the axle, and it was just a waltz jump, that was tough. So
yeah. And it often seemed stationary in her footwork, or I would imagine, especially live, it was very slow and very little ice coverage was happening.
I am always so curious, like, what the dynamic is with her and the mom. Because, the mom loves to leave comments that are a little... It explains everything, right? Like that.
Yeah.
And we knew because Emily Tuttle, she always was saying that New York Times article about Polina way back in the day. She was like, the mom is interesting. Facts.
She was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. I love a sectionals moment. So I am ready. Jimmy Ma.
That was tough. He had a tough go.
And our friend Aaron.
But again, why are you skating to that music? It's so not Jimmy Ma.
I know.
Yeah.
He just needs to.
Now, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Who is automatically, based on your performance at the previous year's nationals, who has to then return to sectionals, and who just gets to go?
So if you have a Grand Prix, you don't have to go through sectionals. Now, if you have one Grand Prix, it can be different, right? Depending on what your international events are. But someone like Jimmy isn't getting the assignment, so he has to go through sectionals to get there.
So regardless of his placement at nationals, if you don't have, for instance, let's say he had been fourth at nationals and they didn't assign a Grand Prix, he still has to go to sectionals.
He has to go to sectionals, yes. Now, if you're a medalist,
okay.
But does the fourth count as the medal? That's the one thing where someone else can comment in. But usually if you're fourth, you would have a Grand Prix, so that's not usually like something that comes into a thing right there. Now, for other people, it depends. Mariah, last year, it was a returning Olympic medalist. She would have had a bye. And they used to have a rule where you would have the Olympic medal would give you a bye for 4 years. So the rules have changed a little bit, and Phil Hurst was tweeting about that. So I remember there was that whole
because Mariah could technically come back. We're not saying she would, but according to the rules, because she has a medal from 2018, she could compete at this in 2020 nationals without a regional or sectional.
Yeah, and
Polina didn't have to do regionals because she did this secret summer event that we don't have the footage of.
Yeah, so there's a new system that gets so there have been a lot of changes in the USFS where not all of... how the lower events were at nationals and they did all of the events the last couple years? They used to have two separate nationals, right? Where it would be called the junior nationals, and it would be like the U.S. Junior National Championships, which were a separate national event for all of the younger levels. Then they decided to put them at the big nationals, being let's do it all at once to save administration costs, and hopefully you get those people staying around and fill the seats. But it just lasted way too long and too costly of an event. So now they've nixed even having a nationals entirely, so that the season ends at sectionals for certain skaters. Now, what gets really confusing is if you win novice, I don't know if you medal or just if you win. And this is one thing that it does not stick in my head yet. This is the first year. If you win novice, you have the chance of competing at nationals as a junior. This is this was concocted in someone's this is crazier than the IGS, understand, okay? So,
it's that meme of the woman with all the calculations about her.
And there was a whole thing this summer where you could get an automatic bye to sectionals, which is kind of good because there were certain years where people would be injured. And remember the whole Tessa Hong situation when her mom sued the USFS because she claimed that someone made a gunshot noise and that's what caused Tessa to fall and get her concussion? But the mom was mad that the caller stopped Tessa and didn't let her get up and have an Ashley Kane performance where she continued. And because she didn't have a bye to sectionals, it ended her season, even though she was the top skater in the country really at that level, or one of the top in the country. So
Right.
It's it became an unforgiving system. Now they used to allow buys all the time, right? And shadily, do you remember how Tara had that friend Lindsay Weber?
No.
So Tara had a group of girls who were her minions, and it was kind of Tara was the Regina George, and they were the errands.
Okay.
Lindsay was one of her workers, right? Still is. Even when that if you said anything about Tara, Lindsay's the one who watches it and texts her, right?
Okay.
One time she randomly sent Jenny and me an email being I really love the skating lesson, and we were oh shit. She's one of those people that you have to be real fake nice to, right? You're just
okay.
Never met her. I've only heard she's infamous. She knows everything. She's connected. She's probably really pleasant. But allegedly she used to petition all the time. And made it to nationals, and she was always pro Team USA on all the councils, but they started referring to it as the Lindsay Weber rule, as they're why you couldn't petition anymore.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay.
It was infamous in Shannon Miller in gymnastics, if you know that. So, anyway, system. Let's talk about Russia. Evgenia Medvedeva.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. She looks improved.
And you know what it is? Seeing her even in the opening, especially back-to-back, and I was kind of re-looking at some of her Atari-era programs, in the beginning of the short, she goes slow. I don't mean she's moving slowly. I mean she's taking her time. She does one movement, holds it, and I think
back
it was such
lean
a
that she does with the leg, right?
It was, and they were definitely doing that on purpose to be this is what an open, prolonged move should look like.
And keeps talking about her flow because he wants the components to go up, and he's she's skating like she never has. I always find his interviews are not from the heart. They don't seem sincere in the same way. He's not a good actor in that way. But, he's, trying to quote Moskvina. It doesn't sound believable.
Genuine. Yeah.
I did feel, watching her, that her flow over the ice was somewhat better. Mm-hmm. However, it's always on 2 feet. It is constantly on 2 feet. And it is not really great. And when you compare her to Satoko, now granted, Satoko did a 1.5 lots, but her run of the edge is so pure when you watch the cleanliness of just her blade and her knee bend on the ice. Even in that terrible short program, she is giving you such glide and run of edge and clean transitions and clean, beautiful turns that Evgenia just can't do. Now, Evgenia does do an inside spread eagle out of everything that is very clean, but not covering a lot of ice and not a big, beautiful, deep edge.
Yeah, and let's talk about that ice coverage because I'm curious, in the step sequence in particular for Evgenia, it looked like she wasn't covering any ground.
So she's not, and that's what people don't always understand about the Atari skating skills, is that those girls do a lot of turns, and they really do them. But they're not big, deep turns. So as they get bigger, and taller, I don't mean big, but as they get taller, it's harder to work and like get into their knees because they're not learning the skating skills in the same way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that Alyssa Sisney taught me. She's like, watch Evgenia and watch as she gets taller how much more she's struggling. And she first pointed out to me during the 9/11 number, to like, watch how the skating skills aren't really there. And even here, when she wasn't on 2 feet, they were not really there. They weren't awful, but they weren't Costner, Kim, Asada level points, and she'll be getting those points. Now, everyone's going to be like, you're picking on her. I think she's at about like a mid-8 overall, and I think that the other skaters in the event, like Trusova, is in like a low 6. So I'm not trying to compete on her. Mariah Bell, about like a 8.25, right? Like it depends on like which component that she has. I would see Satoko is hard too. She doesn't have maybe the speed, but she has the flow. But it's just like she's not as good as the points that she was getting. Now, knowing that it was at home, the Russian skaters tend to skate well at home. They have all that force behind them. Evgenia has something to prove here. And the judges respond to the crowd and the politics, and you know that
and the crowd knows exactly what they're doing. It reminded me of Sochi a little bit, where it was just like through the roof for some, and then you almost see them put muzzles on when anyone else comes on to make sure they don't accidentally cheer too loud and let them have a moment.
It's the Chinese are notorious for that in like gymnastics, although they haven't been like that in skating as much. So
yeah,
I mean the Chinese have like brought in like drums at different events. So yeah,
intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to close out your point about the skating skills, there was a moment in the slow-mo replays in the free skate where they really honed in on just the blades of Evgenia during her footwork in the free skate. And for those people, someone was like, you don't know, Trusova has great skating skills. Look at this. And then they show the clip that merely just proved your point. You look at the thing, the blade, and it's like kind of moving. It's kind of stuck. It's not deep. Like it showed you exactly what you.
So the fans that follow, the fans claim that Eteri even says this. It's hard because the Russian fans are split. There are some that will DM us like all of like the tea that winds up being cracked, and they won't say the things about what's going on in the rink and what the scuttlebutt is, and like, it's known that she's not as beautiful of a skater as the other girls. Like, they know that. They just don't focus on it because that's not what's going to get them the points. Like, they're just working the system. So,
yeah.
I do think that there's been a lot of discussion. Like, if Trusova wins, there could be some sort of backlash in terms of what to do about her program composition, the lack of artistry, the lack of skating skills, the fact that, she does a camel and, like, flops over and they still give her the points, and she's not even working on the spins as much as she did last year. But she's doing more jumps than anyone else. Granted, if you want to talk about but she's doing more jumps than anyone else, and that's impressive. And then the judges...
And there's no way to balance that score, then.
And it's not her fault that the judges give her these marks.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So,
but they'll only go up. They're only going to continue to pretend the skating skills are better than they are.
Anyone that goes clean over time, because the judges like reliability and they like consistency, and this is a sport that is an imperfect science as much as we try to objectify it. So I was listening to Sonia again, and I was like, she is so smart. Sonia is so smart. I think she is like that different.
I love her book. Her book is good too. Cracked Ice. They sell a weird translated copy.
It's real dense, that book. It's very... She doesn't forget a thing.
Right.
And she loves skating. She has a real point of view. You may not always agree with her, but I respect her at the same point.
Because there's such conviction behind it. It's not a game.
Yeah.
It's truly, genuine.
But I love... She really reminds me of, like, that difficult aunt that, like, makes one dish every year for Christmas, right? And you know she takes such pride in making that dish. But you know you're going to have to call her and, like, stroke the ego and get her to make it. Like, you're busy, you're trying to get it, you can't just expect it, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to earn it.
You know she's going to come dressed fabulously. In that interview, she looked like a Supreme Court justice. Okay, she had her pearls on.
Yeah.
She was ready to go. I love that she watches the ISU Congress, like, for entertainment. Like...
Right. Like you watch she watches the ISU Congress.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you about all of the Russians. And love. Okay? But the head of the ISU for skating is a Russian. So I do think that they will wind up allowing quads in the short. How do you feel about it?
I think they have to. I mean, you can't, it's such a sexist thing to withhold one gender from doing that. But it's the only thing that makes her not, Trusova would be clobbering everyone if they could do that.
I expect it for the Olympics.
Since the technical goes up, and they should absolutely be allowed to try any content they want in the short. I don't understand why there would be limitations on it, but they just have to raise the PCS so it really is an even Stevens game.
I agree. I would make it 1-0 for the short and 2-0 for the long. And then pray that they start judging it correctly and maybe have some sort of ramifications. They've tried with falls and they've tried with, but it doesn't really, I don't know.
Right.
The crooked judges, they will use any system, is what Sonia was saying. So.
But Sonia is right. I mean, they used to do it with the artistic presentation mark. You know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be a difficult thing. But it's interesting because when Trusova comes out, she's competing in a different sport.
Mm-hmm.
She's got totally different content. She has a totally different approach. And I just don't know that I personally respond to her sport as much as I respond to everyone else's.
Oh, speaking of judges, does anyone know the judge Deborah Hagenauer? I'm hoping someone does and is like still watching. She was the one judge that put me first at Adult Nationals, and Christmas is coming, and I was thinking of sending her a Christmas card with a handwritten note. Because I think she obviously gets me and deserves a Christmas card, okay?
And that's all we're saying, yeah. I think it's great.
One judge put me last for artistic. They will not be getting a Christmas card. But someone wanted me to go.
You can send them charcoal.
No,
or coal or whatever.
They're just not getting it. Okay?
Okay.
But
okay.
Deborah Hagenauer, amazing. I love you. I think you're from Pennsylvania.
She gets it.
She gets it. She understood what it was all about.
Okay. Amazing.
She deserves a Christmas card. I couldn't find her on Facebook. But if anyone knows her, send me a DM. I'll send her a Christmas card. Why not? She might think I'm a total crazy person, but that's okay. That's like...
But she'll give you first anyway.
Oh my god. I was going to go skating again today, but like the time got shifted, so I'm going to go again tomorrow. So...
Oh, nice. Okay.
I went to the chiropractor 3 times this week because I was like, I want you to get my shoulders back in alignment so I can jump properly. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Well, and when I get back to New York, they open those Lasker rings finally, so I'm excited to maybe try some stuff out again.
I think we could have a skating party in New York.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Maybe like an ugly sweater skating party? I don't know. We can... All right.
In honor of Kathy Casey. Remember? Kathy Casey used to wear all those like hilarious sweaters. Okay.
We could all skate to like the Mariah Christmas album. Maybe at Chelsea Piers or something. We can have Urena Ribbons organize it. All right? We can like...
Nice.
And
then everyone can bring Mariah Bell Christmas songs.
Yes. Oh my god, we could get Kira Corby to come. She could like teach everyone how to skate. It'll be great. So, anyway.
Okay. Done.
Trusova overall.
Satoko? Oh, Trusova, yeah.
Overall, the jumps are impressive, but on the spins, when she does her flying camel and she just drops over and the leg drops, and it's a hard watch for me.
Yeah. And I know we all had like that cute moment because she fouled when she was just merely skating into her position, but that kind of happens a lot, and it's kind of a statement. I like her clearly. And that's the thing, I'm separating. This is a young girl who's doing exactly what she's told, and she's absolutely doing an amazing job. And I loved the giggle. Like sometimes those moments that just snap you out of the moment. And kind of, I felt, if anything, it probably helped her just to kind of shake off some stuff. But yeah, it's a tough watch for me.
She's got a cute personality. When she got off the ice, because she's a little bit of a fighter, but like a realist. And you know that she struggles with the quad sow the most. And I wasn't, so one of our Russian viewers sent us a translation, and it wasn't sure if when it was, she wasn't sure if she was talking about the sow cow or the loop, but because she struggles with the quad sow the most, I think it was probably about that. But Terry asked her, like, what happened or something, and she was just like, what, I can't do it. You know, like, like had that cute, like, ugh.
Well, okay, is this a repetition rule? And we'll get into it with Aliev, but is this a repetition rule that she won't just do 2 quad toes?
Well, maybe, but they're also going for points. Yeah, with repetition.
Yeah, because she's probably doing 2 triple toes or something. I have to double check that because it's, of course, my knee-jerk reaction is, why aren't you just doing 2 quad toes
also,
and 2 quad losses?
We have to wonder,
easy.
Do you think that, is she planning more than just the quads that she does now for the end of the season?
Well, that's the thing. Are we going to see 2 quad toes at some point in addition to the quad sow? I don't know what their big...
Because Sherbakova may put in the quad flip. Because it seems like they're, you know, she had the injury on the quad toe, so they might not be doing that one, and then the quad flip is worth more. And she was saying basically that the program has to get more complex. Like, you just has to. So...
Right.
I mean, that's tough too, because Evgenia, okay, I was thinking, like, right now in our Russian power rankings, I would have her neck and neck with Tuktamisheva. I would have Zagitova.
I agree. And here, she kind of, to me, eked a little bit ahead of this nonstop thing. I still don't know where she fits in with the three newbies on the senior circuit.
No chance.
But I do think she kind of eked in front of Tuktamisheva.
Because of the overall performance. Although her spins aren't great either. So Tuktamisheva would have an argument about Evgenia.
Oh, yeah, but the judges will never help Tuktamisheva in PCS, and it's clear that they will always help Evgenia if she delivers.
I think I would too. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a tough call because, you know what I mean? You almost wish they just compete. I would love to see them all there because...
I love that, like, Tuktamisheva is, like, throwing us back to the days of Buchirskaya and Slutskaya and Volchkova, and I love, like, the personality and the fact that she's doing the triple axels. It's a tough one. The one who I really do think is preparing for a life is that, did you see that Zagitova, she has shows already booked in December and February, and she has a movie that she's going to film. Now, we don't know if this is a big film. It's going to be filmed between Japan and...
Do you remember when Tanya was in that movie Breakaway? Tanya Harding. Okay.
And I don't think it matters whether she's filming it... I mean, she's never acted before, right? So do we really think that she's going to be, like, in some long film, right? But she and her dog. But you think, like, they're lining this up. Like, they are sending her off. And I think if you do it the right way, you graduate out of military school. You don't switch coaches. You graduate and you thank a Terry and you bring her flowers. And you have, like, a farewell performance. But it seems like it's... I'm getting that vibe. Like she's filming a commercial.
But no, don't you think Zagitova could still really make these finals, though?
Maybe.
I mean, she was second in France, and now she's up against Rika and Kostrzynaya. But if she's even third,
could she make them? Yes. Will she skate there?
Yeah.
Who knows, right? Like,
yeah.
It seems a fluid situation. I wouldn't bet on seeing her at the finals. I wouldn't bet on not seeing her. Also, she has to skate.
You're saying, but you're not talking about her qualifying. You're talking about her accepting the invitation, kind of.
Well, who knows? It just seems like she doesn't seem super competitive at this moment, unless she surprises us at NHK. But given that she seems busy, right? Like some sort of distractions coming in between her Grand Prix events. She had a commercial and this. Granted, they all have days off. We all, can do a lot, and then whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. She lucked out with the assignment.
She's starting a transition.
It just feels like those vibes are coming, right? So.
Yeah.
But I think Kostrzynaya and Rika will be 1 and 2, so they'll be in.
Mm-hmm.
Brady Tennell is in.
How is she officially in, though? Because if Zagitova goes...
It was a weird calculation, but that would be 4 Russians, Rika, and Brady would get the last spot.
And now why Brady over
because she's second. She's second and fourth.
Isn't so? So
Satoko would be second and fourth.
Brady
and
then
I think they would go by score. So
okay.
And then she beats Mariah Bell, who had third and third. That she had a second place. I mean, there's like tons of tiebreakers.
Yeah, because wait, hold on, because to me it seems Trusova, Sherbakova, Kosternaya, maybe Medvedeva, because she's 2-3, and maybe Zagitova if she goes 2-3, and then Rika if she goes 2-2.
Wait, was someone lying to me that Brady was in?
Someone wrote me
Medvedeva is not
Twitter.
2-3. Remember she did.
Brady's in, and I was like, I don't think so.
Wait. This is a weird show, but we need to. This is confusing.
We're long for the ride.
Did it?
Because I think we could have 5 Russians in Rika.
No, wasn't Evgenia third in the? We have to prove. Okay.
Yeah, but she was second here, so she's 2-3 compared to
Wait,
Brady's
no.
2-4.
Evgenia was only third in the long at Skate Canada. She was 5th overall. It was Trusova, Rika Kihira, Yu Young, Brady.
Yu Young was third in Canada.
Yes.
Okay, that was where my disconnect was.
So this is actually, a week ago, this was feeling like a boring Grand Prix. Stuff just got very interesting. Because you've got Mariah Bell with 2 medals. So, Zagitova better deliver.
But 2 bronzes. She's and the 2 bronzes don't count as much as the 2 4s, right?
A 2-4 is worth more than 3-3.
Yeah.
Because the 2 is what counts, so...
Because Mariah Bell and Trusova both have 3-3.
What'd you think about Skater Bell here? She fell in the short program. I was surprised she went for that toe because she had no ride out of that flip in the short.
Yeah, I don't know if she was trying to prove that she had grit. From the beginning of this short program, her whole body seemed very up to me. I don't know if she just wasn't feeling her legs under her or if she was just feeling a little off kilter. I mean, she performed well if that was the case, but something seemed so hoisted in her posture, so I felt it was going to kind of be a miss. Okay, if you're gonna skate to this music, I get it. I think it's a totally cool idea. The whole point of that kind of music, if you're at a club, is you're waiting for the beat to drop, right? That is the moment. And finally, like this is not a classical thing where we're talking about missing the climax. We're talking about very obvious pop music where it's building, boom, the beat drops, and she's just doing like transitional steps, and then gets into the Lutz after the beat has dropped. Now, if she was able to do that Lutz when the beat dropped, I don't know how an audience wouldn't jump out of their seats in that moment. Yeah. It would be so epic.
But I don't know if
it's such a missed opportunity.
I don't think Adam has the experience as a choreographer to have figured that all out yet. Right? Like, he's still growing.
And I'm not even talking about, like, I'm not talking about, like, elated musical analysis here. Like, in that kind of music, it's like, tension, 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 tension.
Bam!
And it's just, and that's when it, like, washes over you, and then she's kind of going into the Lutz. If they adjust that, she can have a real moment there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's all right. She's
she looks beautiful. She's skating. She's definitely upped her game.
She's upped her game. I feel like this competition was important because she was feeling the pressure. That medal changes things for her. It's exciting, but it's also expectation. And you could see she was in a tough field here, and she was gritting it out in the free. It was not a perfect skate. There were some moments where she was out of alignment, but she fought. And then when she was pretty, her choreographic sequence, best of the event. Along with Satoko. The two of them, best in the event, but she was giving us big, old school skating, beautiful edges, wonderful, and it was like a Trusova, like the juxtaposition, crazy. So, now Satoko is an interesting one.
Yeah.
The jumps are really
Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you, even when Evgenia first moved to Brian, and we know that this kind of change takes a long time, but we could already see where the changes were being made and maybe the ideas they were trying to implement. Since Satoko has been with Lee, do you see a change in the approach, or it just seems more of the same to me. I'm not quite sure what's changing here. And I know it's going to be different in competition. They're going to resort back to.
I think they're trying to fix the lots and trying to fix her jumps, like the toe jumps especially, to jump up and to use the toe pick, because she often jumps before her toe pick even hits the ice. And it has that spin, and she's not really vaulting into the air with the toe pick. And that's because she's like an anxious kind of skater, and she often misses the toe pick on the technique. And they're trying to, and I think that's why you see more mistakes with the Lutz as they're trying to change the technique, especially in the short program, I think. But a lot of the jumps are still very under-rotated, worse seem. And it was weird because the Russians were like, they're not going to talk about Sapticals under rotations. And I thought, haven't we had a show for like years? We've mentioned that she doesn't
always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's tricky because it seems like, especially on that Lutz in the short, she seemed disoriented.
Evgenia also was borderline not around on the loop in the short. And you couldn't notice it as much in real time as on. It was right on the borderline in the free, where it was like a tough caller would probably call it under. And of course, they gave it to her.
Well, and in the free, the loop combo that came afterwards, I mean, you really see in the replay, she does like the full first rotation on the ice. Like, I mean, the full thing. Yeah.
So, I think Evgenia definitely gritted out the rest of the performance. Satoko, though, the actual skating of her Schindler's List was so far in the nines to me for interpretation, performance execution. The skating skills were great. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the jumps elements are not there at all. But she still performed beautifully. And though I think you have to deduct somewhat for the mistakes that she does do, the actual performance is like so far beyond the rest of the women.
The choreo sequence, are you kidding? When she does that knee slide after the double axel, triple toe, double toe, and then into the spiral, it's just every spin position is completely exquisite. Like she takes her time. Every movement is worth seeing in its entirety. You know, and actually, even though the short program, I understand why they tried to do that, and I also know it's not quite working. She does that moment where she bangs down on her crossover straight intensity, and I kind of loved it because that's where most like just add water formulaic programs have those like open palms while they're skating. You know, the old Ashley Wagner like drama. But I loved seeing her bang down. It's kind of a fun variation on that.
I think they have so much going on in her skating right now. The change, whatever is going on with Mia Hamada and the Oda situation seems very real. And that's around the time that she was moving to Lee and doing things like that. Then you have the change of the technique. She's getting older. You know, she's trying to remain competitive. I think that trying to break her out of her shell in that way in the short is too much. And it's not as effective.
You need to implement these small changes, like they pulled the rug out entirely, like let her have something. You know what I mean?
I would go back to last year's short for Japanese nationals. It's her style. She has a lyrical contemporary style that is beautiful. Go for that. Who cares? Yeah. It is such a beautiful program from last year. It's comfortable. It's in her style. Let her focus on the jumps. Because it's iffy if she's going to make that Japanese world team. The door is open for her, but there are others that could make it. It's dicey, so I would go for it. I would do the old program. I get what they did, and I think it was a valiant effort. It's just so not her, and that it's so hard to make it her. And I think they're diminishing her scoring potential. But I think it was worth the shot. So I wonder if people think if that would be the smarter competitive move. It's not like a dislike of the program, and I know the people that like the program are going to be like, no, don't. But she's struggling, and you have to kind of make what's going to be effective as an athlete, even though not everyone just loves to see the same programs again and again. But how about I thought the men's event here, Jonathan.
Sigh.
Your boy.
Yes.
Did you read that interview?
Yeah.
Where he was like, sometimes I get so into the music I'm crying. And I was like, Jonathan will love this.
I believe him. I
was like, that is such Russian drama right there. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Why?
And I think Russia's behind it too, because even in the short program, it was the Russian judge that had Aliev ahead of Zamarin.
I know. And how's Kolyada's sinus thing going? Are we going to see him? What's going on there? So, you know.
Well, I mean, if Konstantinova is any indication as to how things are going at that ring, maybe we just need to get Kolyada elsewhere.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. People, I'm trying to see, like, is Gracie skating yet? You know, this is we don't know when it's going to go down. So.
This just in, yeah.
It's just Heidi Munger is skating now. It was not good.
Okay. Okay. Maybe next year, Heidi.
There's one skater at Sectionals that's dating Gedevandishvili's brother. I mean, we are getting all of the kind of information that you don't get otherwise. So, it's like a skier or an aerial skier. So, anyway, the men here.
And Aliev took out that quad lutz altogether here. Which was interesting because it went so well in the short in the at Skate America, I thought. But clearly, they thought it was too risky because I felt like he was skating to protect a spot in the final.
And he didn't need it here. Only in Russia do they sweep the men's with like a no name. Like we didn't like people for like. Have you seen this boy? They all kind of look alike. You're like, what's?
Yeah, I mean to be fair, Shoma let that happen. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think Inyatov or whatever, however you say it. I don't think that he would have been a factor otherwise. But,
do you think?
And it's Aliev's coach.
Do you think Shoma should stay with Lambiel? I think.
Okay, but can we talk about this?
Yeah.
I had a really difficult time with Lambiel here.
Okay.
Because the mics were so present in the kiss and cry and when they got off the ice. Love it, keep it the same always. His comments to his skaters made my skin crawl. Like it was so showy, non-substantive. Like it was. I really don't think that's the right move for Shoma at all. At all. I thought it was all a sham.
Well, he's had a very talented skater that just has not improved.
That has just plateaued. And, you know, I mean, whether we choose to really discuss that or not, I mean, people seem to be amused by the connection Vasiliev and Lambiel have in the kiss and cry. But it's also outrageously inappropriate to me at some points. But I just think
but we also don't know anything factually there. So, I mean, it's like, it seems, or like a, you know.
Yes, totally. But I don't find that endearing at all. And his comments, like he said something to, I literally wrote, "Shut up, Stefan." And I think he's a great skater. And I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but he told Shoma to just take more risks and really enjoy the program. I was like, the whole problem is he's kind of taking too many risks. He's like hurdling himself without any proper preparation, it seems,
and he looked a little
into
bit
these
better
jumps.
In practice, which again, some of this is mental, some of this is the training. And in that video about Shoma, I did not call him anything. I still stand that the thing that stuck out to me about that video the most, not even the hours game.
You're talking about the video game.
Yeah. To me, and the skaters from Japan and other countries have known about that channel for some time. Not just the fans, the skaters, it's like a thing. So, anyway, to me, it was the comments where you could see about the isolation, and it seemed like the anxiety. It was not just a loner, it was someone that didn't quite seem happy, right? Like, it was starting to affect. And I know that people
there
get
is
touchy.
no center at the moment.
Yeah. People get touchy about, because, well, my brother plays video games. Well, is your brother saying that he doesn't like to interact with people? Or, you start to see, and you start to see on the ice that something has happened, right? Like, he's never been the best competitor over time, and maybe this is growing, right? Like, maybe this has all been... he always said that he liked to divide his day, 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours training, 8 hours playing video games. I mean, there's also showering, like, we can...
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not great either. All right, we got to watch Gracie, so we're going to pause and come back and talk about Shoma. All right?
Amazing.
All right, we are just going to pause because we just watched Gracie Gold compete at Sectionals, and it's still going, but we're going to discuss their performance. We're going to get back to Shoma, and I'm sorry for all of the fans that want to hear about Shoma, but priorities. Jonathan is 13 hours ahead, and he is getting picked up for a rehearsal, and we are trying to make this all happen for you people. I am sorry, Polina is just...
Yeah, for me, it's Sunday morning.
And guess what? Polina, just like the 2016 Nationals... We just didn't feel that you were A-list enough. It's okay. I'm sorry, Polina, but I told you not to wear that dress, and you were mad about it in the Deadspin article. But I revisited the this and that, and Jenny also hated that dress, Polina. So you just blamed me in the Deadspin article, but it was both of us that thought that was flippin' hideous. Okay.
And look, didn't Deadspin implode? Aren't they no longer a thing?
They did, but no, they're still around, but it's bad. It's not going well. So.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's a place where you can write if you want everyone to hate you in freelance. So
great, sign me up.
Sign me up. Yes. Okay. So Gracie, Jonathan, did I not just say that Gracie should do the Sasha Cohen jump thing?
And thank goodness she did, because after the fall on the first one, she needed the second one, even if it was under rotated. They called it under, or?
I mean,
they just should have called
Stevie Wonder could have seen that was under, all right? That was not a rotated Lutz. But I was confused why they went for the flip in the second half. Never her good jump. And you go for the toe. What was happening there? This again...
Well, because there were no triple toes.
Yeah, I was confused.
Right?
Maybe they were hoping for a double axel triple toe that we've seen her do. But you got to go with the easy in the second half. See, I would have done a triple toe, double toe combo in the bonus. Look, you got to just
100%.
Just go for the GOE, all right? She could have done it in that, she only has 5 pieces of choreography in her career. So I would have done from the Firebird that they brought it back for the before the loop here. So
there you go.
The music is not a good choice, but I wanted it for her, and I felt like the judges do too. Now, it's iffy if she's going to make it. So she got a 109. She has to be 4th. She needs that pewter. This is a case where getting the pewter would be like a gold medal to you, if you're someone. If she gets to Nationals, that's 2 more months that she can keep.
And a lot can happen in those 2 months. Yeah.
I mean, I think she might even be able to land those 2 Lutzes in the next month.
She could technically run her program 60 times if she does it right.
And Jonathan, she looked about 1,000,000 times better than she did at the regionals. Even though the jumps weren't super successful, the jumps that she landed at regionals were... Bless her heart. These looked like credible jumps. There was a Saucal that looked good. One of the double axles was decent. I mean, we fought for it, but it was good. One of the double axles was real pitched forward, but I feel like it was a car crash, and we were just getting through that performance. But she, I think, maybe gritted it out. They had to have helped her with the components. So I don't know. You just gotta hope that one of those girls just doesn't have her moment of her life right now. That you hope that they don't all start nailing, because she needs about 2 months.
Isn't that terrible? Yeah, now you sound like Gabby.
I'm sorry, but when you're a competitor like Gracie, and you gotta think, imagine the blow to her ego if she doesn't make it out of sectionals, even if it's potentially her own fault. That she, you gotta think that you gotta push, right? You gotta just hope that you get lucky. You just gotta hope. Not that you want anyone's...
Well, and we were talking about this, Steve. There's gotta be a mixed bag of feelings about her being there if you're another competitor or their parent or something like that. However, I think the only time that would really factor is if someone really viable was missing a spot, and I don't think...
So skaters love
attention. Be fighting for.
So skaters love the fact that everyone is watching this feed, although some may feel more pressure, because all eyes are on this Eastern sectional. These other girls that we didn't even know who half of them are. Like more people are watching them than
now we're all watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So I think they.
And but if you can't handle that pressure at sectionals of people watching you, what's it going to be like at nationals?
I mean, this is probably the most pressure some of these girls have felt, and Gracie's going to get the boosted points. So I don't know. It's a real tough one, but. How about Shoma?
Welcome to skating, everyone. We were literally just talking about it happening in Russia, too. It happens at every level.
How about Shoma? So Shoma has to really get it together to make the Worlds at this point.
I know. And his short program, I'll tell you, it's still so magic. Mm-hmm. I just wrote it's epic magic to me, even with that super far tilt on the quad flip. But these things really do seem like technical limitations at this juncture. And again, Lambiel just saying take risks is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard anyone say.
So I thought that the vibe is better in the
take note, Trusova, when he puts his cantilever in, it is so on the music and it is such a moment, and hers just seems so arbitrary by comparison. So he really knows how to make most out of that. I love him. I want him to find his way.
I do too. I was thinking that he seemed maybe a little happier with Lambiel, and the Japanese Federation looked happy with him, happier with Lambiel and him. Like they looked a little, like it wasn't as uncomfortable as what was going on before the last one. I think that he's friends with Koshiro, so, and doesn't Lambiel coach Koshiro, right? Am I messing that up, right? Right? Yes.
I don't know. I just didn't anticipate. I mean, but him even omitting the quad toe beginning of the program, there's chaos inside, and that chaos is just off. That's what I register. So
yes, he's coached by Lambiel, and Koshiro is one of the other voices allegedly on that channel. So that would be a good thing if they are friends, and then he has a friend there. It can get him. Look, these skaters are so. It's all psychological. He's in a rut, and even if Lambiel is saying nonsensical stuff, to just get him through the hump, to maybe get him to run his program, you don't have to be a technical genius. I would take out the quad flip and just have him go for the easier quads that he can do, and be like, you need to be clean and consistent and get your together over the next couple of months.
Right.
And you need to...
Yeah, because if he had just tripled out everything and just sort of gone clean but easy, he would have made much more of an impact here. He's one of those skaters where I'm like, what are we doing? We're pushing this poor kid maybe beyond what he can do right now, but he has so much to offer.
Well, he would mess something up, and then he would do a triple axel Euler triple flip, and you would be like, oh my god, you can't check your jumps, but you can just like hang and ride those edges like you're riding a wave. Like, he's incredibly talented. Right. He's incredibly beautiful to watch. I find it...
But it's interesting because even when he does the triple sow, triple toe in the free skate, he still has that same landing issue, whether he's doing triples or quads.
Yeah.
You know, that lack of a check. But he was going so fast
he does
in
not,
the free that
he does not.
It almost seemed
anything.
Wild. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping that he gets it together. I would keep him with Lambiel because you can see the improvement in 2 weeks. That channel hasn't had video games uploaded like in the last, so maybe they have it like under control, like a little more focused.
But see, I don't even think that's what's going on.
No, but Jonathan,
do you?
I'm not concerned that he's playing video games, but if you are speaking freely when you're a celebrity and people are picking this up and then talking about it, and that all of this stuff, to me, it's not what it's about, right? Like, it's, like, the actual comments that he made, to me, is not the story. I know that the young police are going to go after him and say, right? But, to me, the bigger story here is that this is a celebrity who's kind of self-destructing. He doesn't have a coach. He's doing this stuff. He seems the hours. It's not the time. It's not the amount of time. It's that he doesn't seem to be sleeping, and then maybe he's missing time at the rink because remember he doesn't have anyone to account to. So there's all of this stuff that's going on, and the results are falling. So they need to get it all back on track. And even if Lambiel is not the permanent solution, it can kind of like...
I know, I liked our yuka idea.
I know, but she doesn't know if she wants to commit to this, and she might say, I'm not putting up with that, so...
Yeah.
I mean...
Tough.
Tough, and then you want them to have
It's a tough watch, because even amidst all the chaotic skating, all of the lack of focus, the kind of haphazard jumping technique, it's still such a fulfilling watch.
He was my favorite performance of Rostelecom, even with the mistakes.
Yeah, in the short or the long? For me, it's the short.
Both. Favorite short program, favorite free skate. I'm sorry, your boyfriend Aliev, just like it's like the black on black and the brooding and it's like a lot to take with that Sound of Silence program.
Well, the reason I don't mind the black on black is because I think, and Shoma does this a bit too. Shoma does it way more.
Shoma looks like one of those Michael Jackson tour costumes when his hair was long. Like he's got like the accoutrement.
No, but I just mean in the monochromatic, because what Shoma does is he uses his whole body as one unit. Whereas like when we talk about Samarin or some of these other guys, they're so like from here to the elbow is doing one thing, from the elbow to the wrist is doing one thing, then the wrist to the tip of the finger. Like everything is compartmentalized and sloppy. But Aliev and Shoma are using their entire body line, and the monochromatic coloring to me helps emphasize that even more. So I don't mind.
I want him to borrow what Morgan Tsipras wore. I think that would look better.
Oh, but also monochromatic, but just in the shirt or pants idea.
Yeah, wait, but didn't he wear black and gray for one of the, I mean, all their programs are kind of the same, but the one when they skated to Wicked Game, I think, he did like the gray and the black.
Yeah, I don't know, I prefer it monochromatic.
To me, it's like too dark, and he's Russian and brooding, and it's too much.
Oh, I'm here for it. I like it.
No. So,
okay.
They think...
And that breath moment?
There's one girl that just bombed. Wait, there's one girl that just bombed that had like an opening to Coldplay. So they think that Gracie can beat her. They're not sure, but so Gracie, people are like, she had a lead. Like, what is going on? So we're giving you a moment-to-moment updates of what is happening.
It's literally.
Scott Dyer just texted. He was in a movie. How'd she do? People are literally like, it is... Someone's NBC Sports app wasn't opening. Someone's saying the PCS is comparable to Gracie's. Gracie didn't give anything. Gracie needs to give face. They're having emotions. This is why she needs to be at the Nationals. People will care, okay?
And that's the thing. It's been a while since we've really cared.
Oh my God. Oh my God. La cannot make comments, okay? She's inappropriate. So, anyway.
Yeah, those are for just us.
Oh my God. All right, so, anyway.
What did you make of Samarin here? Samarin.
Okay, so the Lutz toe was so amazing. It was so amazing.
It was literally, I think, the most beautiful quad Lutz triple toe I've ever seen.
I'd probably give it a +3 based on the geo. If you go by the criteria, I would give it a... Then people get so confused because how is something a +5 worth more than 5 points? And then you have to remember that it's factored. And like...
Well, that was me with the confusion with the Sway and Han. Or the throw that one time. I was like, what's happening?
Do you notice that the screen actually winds up telling us nothing at the end of the day? Because...
Totally, because they change it all.
They change it all, and it's always green. Do you ever notice that the GOE is always positive? Even on the most cheated, under-rotated jump, it's typically positive. Unless they fall and it's an automatic -5, it's usually... It's
most helpful for me, Dave, because they're including the level. So sometimes when I'm like, oh gosh, a level 2 spin, whoops, because I can kind of keep track, but the amount of focus it takes to assess every single level on every single element can be quite difficult.
To me, it's like you're watching skating and you're like, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
You're like, is the GOE changing?
Yeah, totally.
No, that's wrong. And then it's like your brain is in and out of the performance. And
totally.
Yeah, I don't know. But Samarin, I like him better than I liked him last year.
And that's what I have. If we're going to criticize, we have to give credit where credit is due. It's still a tough watch for me, but last season I almost dreaded having to watch him. And this season, I don't dread it. It's not my favorite.
It was
so I do appreciate that they're trying. It's
jumps were great.
It's just not just yeah.
Now the bronze medalist.
The PCS though, the PCS being so high is a little criminal to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's just me.
Oh,
and his coach. He's that male coach with the chest hair. Big fan.
There are so many coaches. There have been coaches at sectionals. Some of them are attractive. It's all fun. And Polina is about to skate too. So Gracie just beat another skater. I think Gracie is in. So.
Well, I hope for her sake that she is, if that's what she wants. You know.
Jonathan, it's what we want. All right, let's be honest. We want to see it. I'm a queen.
I don't want to see it if she doesn't. I really don't. I only want to see it if she's feeling good about it.
I want to see her come out with an apron, skating to the waitress, maybe with a pie. Okay,
she could put it in the tentacle collar space at the end.
Come on, I'm ready for it. If she's going to Greensboro, we're going. I've been debating. Okay. The only thing that could be better, get Ashley Wagner to skate the opening, okay? And I was watching this old video of Jill Trenery where she just let her hair down at the end like it was in a bun. Ashley needs to add that to her show repertoire. I really feel this.
She really wasn't Jill Trenery. That's who her girl was.
She doesn't know it. She probably has never watched a Jill performance. Did she really?
Yeah.
She doesn't have the skating skills, but she's got the star quality. So, and the landings, the jump landings. She's got the Jill Trenery jump landings down. So, I think she could do it. 1 foot axel, Euler, triple Salchow, nose in her knees. Yes, she could do it. All right. Oh my God. Yeah, but the men. So, how do you feel with the bronze medalist? The bronze medalist from whose name I'm having to look up.
He did have some nice moments.
All right.
Jumping moments. And I think he's a good up and comer. I wasn't offended by it. Obviously, I would have much.
I'm sorry. His name is Makar Ignatov. In all of the sectionals drama, I can't even focus on what his name was, and I did know that.
Amazing. Well, and again, coaches with the same people as Aliev, and you realize that Aliev came that way. It wasn't maybe necessarily taught because he had a nice quad sow, triple chow. He had some glide, some of his choreography was a little phoned in and things like that. But I don't know, I didn't find it offensive. He was another one where the PCS skyrocketed because he had to skate early on in the short. But Tomono, he could have been in there. Dennis could have been in there if he ever just organized his stuff. And same thing with Nam. He was kind of could have snuck out another bronze there, but. Just unfortunate it didn't quite go his way.
Yeah. Oh my God. I want it to happen to Tomono, but he's another one that if they don't get it together now, maybe put him with Juan Miguel too. Maybe they should all train together. They can just all the boys with a lot of feelings. We could get a real driving force in there to really help them. And
totally.
Yeah.
Because he's the one. He's also with. Miyagi in the Kids and Craft, and some of his choreographic moments seem almost like a farce or like a spoof of a skating program, and I think he has got to be careful about that. So,
all right, we need to pause this, Jonathan, because we're about to have another sectionals moment. Polina Edmonds is about to skate at the sectionals, and when we come back, we will discuss the pairs and the dance at the Rostelecom, and they are way more interesting than any of those Russian men, or Nam, who's also doing the
maybe she's skating to Pippin, or what's the musical she should be skating to after Cats? I don't know.
Oh my God. Jonathan, I had a musical question. On the morning show, what's that, nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. What's that from? I know that song. Is that...
Yeah, wait, hold on. It's Sondheim, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it could be... Is
it Sweeney Todd? It's Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd, the one where they make the pies out of people?
Yeah.
And was Jennifer Aniston really singing last night? Does Jennifer Aniston sing? Does she have talent?
Not that I know of.
She's good at
not the talent question.
I think
does she have talent?
I love her, but I think she's the weak link on the morning show. I think she's the weak one. Even Steve Carell is better.
Well, Steve Carell's not bad.
Yeah. All right, we're going to pause, watch Polina, and come back. And we're back. This is why we love NBC and U.S. figure skating, because we were going to watch Polina. The feed cuts out before she goes. It's like the euphemism for her entire career. We're like, all right. The feed comes out.
I said I think Nina pulled the plug.
She was spinning. It wasn't fast. She was doing some footwork. She sat down on a double axel. But then she landed some stuff. And then at the end of the performance, they giggle? I don't get the giggling and the kiss and cry.
They have always done that, like this, like, we fooled everyone. Or so, I don't understand what that giggling is, but it's not endearing.
So allegedly, they could, like, buy everyone. They have, like, she doesn't need to work, right? Like, she's not skating for food or anything. So, I don't know. The attitude is great, though. I want them to make nationals, but I don't think that she did enough. So.
No, I don't. Because I don't think she had the flip of the lines.
Now, what's amazing is that Polina is the one who competed over the summer and Gracie didn't. And I think Gracie pulled this out. And when you look at them, neither one looks particularly trained, but Gracie just is so much stronger and has so much better
more natural gift. Yeah, to that spring.
Yeah. And it looked like the rotational ability is what made the difference here. So this was not
just like when they were competing
in 2016.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but of course we're waiting for her score, and NBC goes out again. And then it was telling everyone that we need flash, and it was giving who knows what the heck was happening. So another stellar weekend for U.S. figure skating. Let's talk about the dance event here, because this was a little bit of a preview for the World Championships. We had some Julin teams skating, coached by a Russian in Russia. So Sada Hurtado and her partner were definitely boosted here. Sada is one of my favorite skaters to watch. She has so much attitude and charisma, and I feel like this partner doesn't give her something to, like,
work off of. I'm missing that fire because she's so beautiful in the air, especially. And so there is this kind of traditional, gorgeous look to her, but it doesn't land for some reason. But she's fast, and she's light on her feet. It looks gentle.
I want her to
rip
rip out a cigarette and blow smoke rings mid-program. Like, she is giving you that kind of, like, charisma. Like, when she skated with Adria and hated him, it still gave us something in the performance to, like,
grab and fire. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's sort of interesting to me. I'm always so intrigued by the competition between the two of them. And the rhythm dance, Olivia and Adria consistently outscored them. Sorry. But I don't know. Seems like it would still be easy for them to send Sarah, even though I kind of like Olivia and Adrian more.
Well, you like
from a personal being. Yeah.
I love Olivia in terms of her ability to give us camp and attitude, and I love the rhythm dance. I don't love the free dance. I think they should go back to the circles free dance. Get rid of this program with the clowns and the what? No. Go back to...
Well, I mean, at least it has, even though I don't buy it per se, it has a point of view, whereas all of the Julin teams, and we'll talk about this with Nikita as well, it's just kind of generic. It's just like vaguely ice dancey lyrical. I'm not along for a journey. I don't feel anything. It's just vaguely pretty.
I don't. And now La's yelling about her waitress comment. But I don't feel this. I feel at least Sada is giving you beautiful skating, but
yeah, nostalgic in a way.
I'm just excited to watch it between I like them both.
Yeah.
If we could meld the teams together. If Olivia could skate with Sada, it would be a perfect team. Jonathan's like, no, I don't think he heard that. I was like,
Well, Olivia skating with Sarah? You mean like the two women together?
Yes, Jonathan.
Okay, I was
Jonathan,
like,
you don't get my
is that what
jokes,
he
do you?
means?
No.
Yuta Miller. I just always want to bring up Yuta Miller anytime that we're talking about same-sex teams.
I
Okay.
really like Sada and Olivia to skate together. They're the ones that they have these dopey men that they're with. They are giving us everything, okay? I just
Except one of the dopey men I'm really attracted to. There you go.
all right.
But what did you make of Nikita? Because I think it's sort of the same thing, where it's just kind of general broad strokes.
I know.
It doesn't really say anything.
And the Russian propaganda is working hard for them. They are now, the journalists are asking them questions about how, like, do you now feel like you're competitors with the French? But they seem like they're playing the long game. Like, Julien isn't trying to beat them this year, but he's going for them by the Olympics. Like, he thinks that they can happen. But then watching them with the Twizzles, it's not going to happen. And they're like, well, the French, they just do that soft skating. And you're like,
well, but I'm sorry, but to me, so are they. I think it's very lovely material. I said it's elegantly clumsy because there's something very.
His Twizzles are still up here. Like he's
hanging on by a thread. Like I think he goes so fast because he's just like willing it so. He just throws it all in and hope it works out. And she's actually learned to do hers as quick as his, but with control. There's just something so cluttery about their upper body to me, and they often seem haphazard and tangled in certain moments.
She reminds me of Navka without the star power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know when you want Barbie and you get Skipper?
Yeah.
That's what Nikita and Victoria seem like to me.
It's easy to understand, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't come off the page for me in a way. So.
But I do think the Russians are going to get them the silver medal at Worlds, so...
But it was interesting because Piper and Paul to have gotten so close in the free dance in Russia under the circumstances, I thought bodes pretty well for them as a potential.
It's going to be a real bloodbath because you know that all of Canada is going to be pushing for Piper and Paul. And they're going to be pushing... Worlds is going to be Piper and Paul and the Keegan emotional journey story. Because Keegan is going to be having his stuff together and he is going to make a run for it. And then there's a spot on the men's podium open as well. And you know he'll have a nationals moment or a four continents moment and it'll lead up. PJ Kong will be writing the articles. Beverly Smith. We will be on this journey. It will be about the Piper and Paul medal and the Keegan emotional journey. Gabby Dillman will be very upset that the focus isn't on her, but they will be the ones that we are really focusing on for this event. And maybe KMT and Michael will also be in it to win it. I don't think Canada's...
But here's the thing about Piper and Paul, like you're talking about just like the vague broad strokes of both Julien teams that were first and third here. They capture a mood, we go on a journey with them, both in the rhythm dance and in the free dance.
I think the free is more effective. Something's off about the short, even though it's cute. It's like it's not cheeky enough, or it's not developed enough, or the music is a little off. Like, and we've done Mac and Mabel with Torval and Dean. But if you're not going to do the running steps together, I'm not into that. Like, I think the costumes are cute. But
they're still giving you innovative moves. Like the thing about Piper and Paul is I don't want to look away because I'm going to miss some cool entrance to a lift, or like their midline step sequence. Even though it was a level 3, it's still so complex and so much more different than everyone else's that I want to see it.
Now the shapes are not as beautiful. So I would give them like a 3 when I give other people a 5. Like to me, there's a ceiling in some of the GOEs. And the spins and aesthetically they are not good.
But I'm giving it creative points also. I mean the rotational lift is so exciting and unexpected, the one at the end. That I don't know, I feel like innovation goes a long way
with
me
them.
as a viewer. I check out of Nikita all the time.
Oh, Nikita is Board City, right? Like Board City, and I like Piper and Paul's more. There are things I like about their skating. There are things that I've grown to accept that I feel like I'm willing to give them a little bit more points, where you're like, well, they're doing what they can.
If we can forgive the skating skills of Trusova and give her all the awards because of quads,
we should not.
Piper and Paul may not have the same edge quality as some of their competitors, but their innovation and commitment to the material, I don't know, it's got to count for something. And it seems like, well, let's see what happens at the finals. This will be a very interesting showdown.
And they all have good free dances. If you notice, these free dances, except for Hubble and Donahue, they're all well trained. They are all put together.
I'm curious where the chalk and base free dance will land.
It got a 128
last
weekend.
Higher than Nikita in Russia.
Yeah. I like it.
We'll see. Yeah.
Madison Chalk
could be
is giving you Hollywood glam that we have not seen before, okay?
And then she's giving you Bollywood glam.
Those judges are human, okay? Some of them may even be gay.
Yeah.
You can't... Igor never exploited that before. I'm sorry. It's the best. It's old school glamour. Yeah. It's like Viva Las Vegas. You know? Oh my God.
Totally.
I love it. I wouldn't hate it if the gods somehow push Nikita off the podium at nationals. I just think that Julien has more skill than to ever allow that to happen at the Worlds. So, but it's what can happen. I think Marie-France is going to have to pick one team. And
I think the judges have picked their team.
Maybe. It's unclear. I don't think it's over yet. It's not over yet. So, but you have the French with the stranglehold on number 1, most likely. 2, probably Nikita, because the Russians are pulling hard for those politics. So then it's like Piper and Paul, or Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, or Hubble and Donahue. But one of those teams will be 5th. And if it's Hubble, that would be a hard blow. You know,
and it might be decided in the rhythm dance. Like, I could see an instance where Chalk and Bates randomly finish second in the free dance, but may still end up 3rd or 4th overall.
So they really need their levels. They really need their levels. And it's harder with Hubble and Donahue because they did the back-to-back Grand Prix events, so we don't know if they've cleaned up their levels just yet, and they don't have that feedback, so we'll know more at the final. We'll have more information, as you like to say, Jonathan, to go off of.
Yes.
But I'm not sure about the way that it's an interesting political thing because they're going to make a move for Stepanova and Bukin as well. So these worlds, there's a lot in the top 6 in ice dance. It's very, very exciting.
It could go several ways. But
what about the pairs? Because this event is so interesting to me is that it has been set up that Tarasova and Morozov, they are like when you buy a beautiful luxury vehicle. You get it out of the lot. It's the most gorgeous car, right? Like you're in a Porsche, right? And you get the car out of the lot, and it just turns into a lemon. It's like one thing after another.
In a different way. And just when you've gotten one thing under control, something else completely ancillary just goes. And then you think you've got that under control, and then something else goes.
You can't even call Chris Cannon to fix it, because it's like, what is happening, right?
And now we have a Marina Nina Moser combo pack?
Very strange. Very strange.
And they were definitely not on board with being partners.
And neither one of them seemed on board with the product out on the ice.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it's interesting because he can be majestic with his height and his wingspan, and there was more facial expression. They did seem to like each other a little bit more in this event. Their spins were really tough. I don't know. It's just there's a disconnect, and at some point, maybe it's just never going to happen. It's too bad because all the ingredients are there. It's just not coming.
The music is awful.
But I think because they lack in pizzazz, I think the music is quirky enough that it was. I understand the idea behind it, that maybe Marina was like, let's give them some wackadoodle music so they seem more interesting than maybe they emote.
The lifts exits are so cool, and the lifts are so beautiful.
Aren't they not the coolest out of the lasso lift, right? And when he's like got her spinning, and the one-handed moves with her legs like that. There are they're great lifters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Yeah, I don't know. It's
the same old story. I feel like you could drop a pin in any of the recaps where they skated, and we have the same conversation.
I know it's, and the mistakes are just, it's just.
They're too great. Yeah. And we have got to talk this out. I have yet to see a pair really nail their spins this season because of the requirements of the kinds of positions and the kinds of levels they're going for. It's just really tough because the most untrained eye is just only looking for the synchronization, and it seems to be failing for everyone in totally different ways.
You almost want to go.
This is especially evident here.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's like there's always something in pairs that they manage to screw up. The ISU. Even it's the step sequence when we don't want to see like some of the American teams doing side-by-side steps. There's just too much going on.
And Megan used to talk about all the lift things they would try to help and it would make it so much worse. And really right now, for me, it's the spins. The spins are really taking away from the discipline this season.
Now, Boykova and Kozlowski are the Russian team that can. I mean, they are really delivering and taking advantage of every opportunity.
And that throw triple lutz is very exciting.
So my coach used to talk about Bobrova and Soloviev and says that they are like a piece of meat with no salt or no pepper. And that's the way I feel about Boykova and Kozlowski. But they get the job done every time. And it's like a Moskvina masterpiece, because they are not an interesting
And even him in his jump state, like, when he was taking off, his air position, especially in the free, well, first of all, they do this nice ride-out, even though he doesn't quite point his toe, but his air position is so wonky.
Yes.
So, like, I think when he jump combo, I was like, how is he even landing that? It's so weird looking.
And when he gets out of it, it is so wonky as well. So, yeah.
Totally.
It's a Moskvina masterpiece. She has just figured this out. And you know what? She is competing against beautiful idiots. Because, like, Tarasova and Morozov, do they hate each other? Do they hate skating? Are they skating as a job? Like, it just looks like it comes from within.
Well, Moskvina knows how to take advantage of an opportunity. And she sees the opportunity where, like, you have this magnificent pair that doesn't seem to be able to produce.
She has like a youthful energy about her. She's like, I've got a good team. We are winning.
And their energy and like over-the-top reactions from the end of that program right until the end of the broadcast was pretty epic. He's hooting, hollering. Tomorrow's standing up, like taking ovation bows, like in the kiss and cry.
No, Michael.
It was kind of fun to see that kind of joy.
Michael Shanley does feel like she just gives off the vibe that she was some sort of a KGB spy in her previous life. And while I feel that could be true, I think that she's the spy that we all love, right? Like, she just...
Yeah, I don't know, I love that, like, Earth Mother quality to her.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem so, like, rigid and strict. I think that Terry would have been a spy. I think that Tomorrow would be too...
No.
I don't know.
I think Tomorrow could outsmart anyone. She knows what she's doing. Okay?
Yeah.
She has gotten some untalented teams to the top of the podium. So,
over and over again. Yeah.
So she's doing it with this girl. Okay? She knew just the music to give. She was like, you know, those Western people, they really loved when that Japanese girl skated to Adele. So we're now going to give them music that's just like that. And they're kind of...
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. She, like, knows what she's doing.
And again, she's not even being given the same material. For instance, like, you have Stolbova, who clearly has tremendous amounts of talent. What did you make of this in a weekend of comebacks at Sectionals, also at the Rostelecom Cup? We have Stolbova.
Stolbova with the lip filler. Also...
And, like, the harsh hair pulled back.
We thought Terry was working with the juniors, but it also looked like she has her scheduling in order of, like... She had a new face that was looking great, but it was... She had some touch-ups.
She found the time to do... Yeah.
Well done. It looks...
She's pushing a brand, and it works.
It looks great. Also, I love that... So Jenny used to tell me what color we would wear when we would film together. And I love that when she's wearing Louis Vuitton, she makes Danny G wear a matching scarf. That's just good preparation. Okay, like they know what they.
And I think it's totally tacky. The plastering of a brand like that.
Well,
where the actual couture, it's not going to be plastered.
Isn't that what we like about Russians? Like they're a little flashy. They're a little. But she almost had a Marie France look on in the free skate. It looked very classy. I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was much classier because it wasn't an advertisement for her.
I liked it. I thought she looked amazing. She looked hot.
All the choices she has made have been good ones.
Her glow up, amazing. I tried to show it, and then some of these young people, they are so like whiny, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a pleasant weekend. Delete. So they're just whiny. It's crazy, but anyway, she is looking fabulous. I like Ziegler and Kiefer. They are growing on me. There's something about the positions and the lifts. They're also like, they remind me of remember that Polish team, Zagorska and Shudik, that we watched for like a million years, and then one day you're like, oh, they're kind of good. Oh.
When did that happen? Yeah.
I liked them more than the bronze medalists here. I from Germany.
But just see, I have to tell you, what made it for me with the Germans was the response in the kiss and cry, and it's such a goofy weekend of skating and energies and like kind of is Mercury in retrograde? Like everything's like totally wonky.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean to see the joy emitted in that kiss and cry when they realized they stole a medal.
They did not steal a medal.
No, I'm teasing, but it was clearly very unexpected, and so to see them do that. Now, I think Stolbova gave them great assistance by putting down 2 lifts, but
they didn't. She didn't even seem mad. Remember when they missed the throw with Klimov, and she was furious
at Europeans? Yeah. Totally. But there's still something awkward post program, and that's clearly coming from.
And I don't get, like, we're doing Moonlight Sonata, and then there's, like, a weird remix happening, and we have a weird costume situation where we're just in turtlenecks. He looks great. It doesn't look like... He looks maybe less...
Some jump issues.
There's a weird balance of power. I don't think it's going to work out. The vibe, to me, the last 4 years of her career, it's just not been happening. Like, it's... But I want the entertainment value. So I would like it to happen. But it seems like it ended a long time ago, the relevance. It's just...
Russia finds itself in a deep pairs field again after a while. It's going to be tough for them to get to Europeans, I think.
Yeah. I think they can, but it's not going to be easy.
It's not a given.
Mm-mm.
Because...
without Sabiaco and Edward, they opened the door. But they really have to improve.
But also, Galyamov? Is that the name I'm thinking of? I mean, they could be right in it, too.
Yeah. So Bova is going to have to give us Christmas joy. A Christmas gift to all of us is always watching Russian nationals. I look forward to it every year. I'm looking forward to it now more than ever. We've got Zagitova. We've got Evgenia. We've got Chuk Demisheva coming back, scorned woman, left off of the worlds. We have Trusova making an appearance. Is it Terry? What is she going to look like? What's she going to wear? Zagitova. What is happening? Which of the Russian little quad girls is going to bring it out for us? I'm so ready for Russian nationals, Jonathan. It's amazing. And then we have Japan. What is going to happen there? I know. And will Hanyu show up? Because he's been injured the last couple of years. So I am feeling that we need this. We need a good Christmas weekend. Yeah,
Japanese nationals, men and women. There's going to be some real surprise elements, I think, in those placements.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready. And this was a good week of skating. Overall, we got Gracie to nationals. I didn't think it was going to happen, but she really impressed. And I think...
Was there any word on Paulina's score, or we just will never know?
I think, the world may never know. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll ball? The world may never know. So I don't think Polina made it. But we want to know, what was your moment of the week? I have to say, Watching Gracie compete at sectionals was the most exciting, nail-biting thing that has happened in a long time. It gave me all the feels. It reminded me when it was about Ashley and Diva Wagner together. To me, it was better than anything that happened at Rostelecom. And those girls getting to Bette Midler, I loved all of it. Okay?
You loved it from a distance. Yeah, okay.
A distance. Yep. Jonathan, what was your moment of the week?
I mean, I could just say Shoma's short, but there's something troubling about the whole thing. You know what I kind of liked? Boykova's cartwheel moment in the choreographic sequence of their pairs program. So let's go with an unexpected thing and say that.
Unexpected?
Although Aliev, I'll tell you what, doing that repetition, he probably could have beaten... Oh, you know what? Let's give credit where credit is due. I will say that I was most impressed by Samarin's quad lutz triple toe on the short.
It was great, молодец, to him. So, the Zatra, we are hoping that you enjoyed Rostelecom and sectionals as much as we did. It has been quite the weekend, so hold an edge and look sexy. Bye, guys.